Goonie Goo Goo. What's going on, Random? Congratulations, you are first.
As a regular kid growing up in Russia, I never got to travel too much, but I have always dreamed about traveling to the United States. Obviously, like everybody else, I grew up watching American TV shows, watching American movies, listening to music, and even pretty much every single video game of all time is set in America. I mean, just take GTA 4 for example. Playing as an Eastern European criminal who moved to America was absolutely amazing. The game is a huge reason why I have a dream to visit New York, for example, which is kind of funny by the way because right now I'm a Nico Bellic in my own right, because I'm a Russian immigrant who ran away from bad things in my homeland to Europe. Perhaps here things will be different. And even though I did start traveling abroad after I made my first money on YouTube, I have actually still never been to the United States, and I actually kind of don't believe it even exists because I have never seen it with my own eyes. Getting a visa as a Russian citizen has always been pretty difficult. But now guys, we've come to a new level because it is now completely impossible because Russia and the citizens of Russia have just been banned by America from ever receiving a visa along with 74 other countries. Which means that yes, I am essentially banned from the
Why are you making fun of Mike for getting divorced? You were...
That's nice.
United States of America. Now here you can see is the full list of all the countries that have just been banned by the Trump administration. Really soak it in, and I have to say, first of all, it does not make any sense. Let's just take a look at this from the Balkan angle, okay? Bosnia has been banned. So has Kosovo. Yes, guys. I cannot believe this either. I mean, isn't Kosovo and America like really tied together? You know, they made that one song, Thank You USA.
Thank you, USA. You are my best friend.
Well, I guess not anymore. All the people from Kosovo are kind of like, what is it? Me for? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? But let's keep going. Macedonia also got banned. So did Montenegro. But guys, notice something interesting. No Serbia. Like, what is this? With the Balkan angle, it doesn't make any sense. Why is America banning Kosovo and Bosnia, but they're completely fine with Serbia, even though they bombed them that one time and so on? Turkey is not on the list either. I mean, Serbia is not banned, but Montenegro is. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But yes, guys, Russia is also on the list, so I'm absolutely cooked. No American trip for me.
Appleps donated $2. You become like Tim Pool. You never criticize Trump. Low. You only talk about good things he does. That's not true. What are you fucking talking about? I've been criticizing the stupid ice horse shit. Well, you call Trump an idiot and say you don't like him, but you don't ever criticize a single thing he does and only mention good things he's done. No. Are you fucking retarded? Thanks for that donation, stupid.
And what's quite funny is that pretty much every single post-Soviet country is also on the list, except for some exceptions which also don't always make sense. So yes, Russia is in it, both Armenia and Azerbaijan are on the list. Trump is just like, both of you motherfuckers. I don't like any of you. I'm on neither side of the conflict. Belarus is here. I mean, I guess it makes sense because Russia is included too. Then we have Georgia, which to me is soul-crushing because Georgia, you know, I lived there for 2 years. I have a lot of great feelings for that country. Thankfully, though, my man Gatsu got his visa pretty much right before this happened, so he actually can go to New York, and he has been, and he said that he hated it, and it's a complete shithole. You know, I believe him, but I want to see it for myself, right? So now I don't have the opportunity anymore. Kyrgyzstan, Moldova is also on the list, which also doesn't make sense. It's like a super pro-Western country or whatever. Kazakhstan as well is included, which, why? What has Kazakhstan ever done to anybody, bro? They're like the nicest people of all time. And they also included Uzbekistan, so no Ukraine, which I guess makes sense. Or does not. I mean, I don't know whose side America is even on at this point.
Who the fuck knows?
Israetel wife situation is insane. So this video is going to be a bit crazy, but I want to make it clear. I'm not going to make any assumptions in this video. I will just present to
Dodo, Donatillers, can you make the debate from earlier public? It is public. I never set it to, What? I literally never set it to members only. How the fuck did that happen? Did it do it automatically? That's fucking weird. Okay, there you go. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. That is really weird. I never set it to members only.
You the facts and the speculations that are out there, and you can come up with your own conclusions. This topic doesn't really matter at all in the grand scheme of things, but let's be honest, the unemployed need something to watch while they eat, so Zorb Corp is here to provide that for you. Also, please don't go around harassing anybody mentioned in this video. Okay, maybe you can make fun of Mike a little bit for being weird, but please keep in mind everything in this video is speculation. Some things are weird and it's kind of crazy how they line up, but it's still speculation, okay? Let me just say allegedly for legal reasons, and let's get into this piece of unemployed slop. So if you've been following Mr. Mike, who I'll be referring to as Mike Israetel in this video, and you'll see why in just a little bit, you would know that this man is very weird. And in the
JP, don't you tell her I like kitties. I do too. Oh, I don't know about that. That's some stupid shit. Oh. What the hell? It's a nice pigeon. Wow. It's a really nice pigeon. Those kitties seem to like the boat ride. There's no chance. Yeah, that's gotta be AI. There's no way anybody could have that many cats. That's a lot of nice cats, though. Oh. Oh my god, cat loaves. I love cat loaves. Those are good cat loaves. Yes. Cat loaves. They're good cat loaves. My goodness. Thanks for the donation, JP. RV donatillers based or gay?
One of the things we really made a deliberate choice to change was to not accept anyone who ever said, oh, we looked for qualified women to fill this role and we couldn't find any, so we had to appoint another man or more men. That's bullshit, and you've got to keep calling bullshit on that. We now have more Supreme Court justices who are female than male.
We've got more people who are worse at their job.
But we also have more women in the Senate than we have, which is an appointed Senate in Canada.
Oh, that's really good. More fucktards who watch TikTok and listen to communist brain rot and want to ban guns.
Canada, we have more women as judges across the country. I think we're...
Oh, is that why crime's increased? Because women are letting all the criminals out.
At 50% in terms of judges, appointments to bureaucratic roles or anything. We just made deliberate effort.
This is in no way a benefit to society. Women are worse at things. Like a huge problem too is that women have kids and don't take their fucking job seriously. So they end up leaving these positions more often, or going on a long hiatus, because they're fucking stupid kids and shit like that. Like, it's just, in no way is this a benefit to society. It's just communist brain rot horseshit. Thanks for the donation, RV.
And speaking of Trump, guess who's ruining Martin Luther King Jr. Day? VG.
Hundreds are gathering at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s church in Atlanta and in the nation's capital to honor the late civil rights leader. Today's remembrance, though, not getting the same type of recognition it has in the past. Late last year, the Trump administration got rid of admission-free days at national parks, for both MLK Day and Juneteenth. In response, Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that most California state parks will have free entry today. Jean Theo Harris is a distinguished professor of political science and
Whatever. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Yeah, I've heard all that horse shit.
So Mike Israetel is getting a divorce. I'm honestly not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah, that was coming from a mile away.
First video that I made on this channel, I went over his disturbing thoughts and opinions on robots, and especially
Thanks for
their
that
use for
donation,
sexual pleasure, let's say it like that.
There will be nothing off limits on either ethical grounds, because the robot consents, on enjoyment grounds, because fun is to be had, or ability grounds. You want to do some gymnastic stuff in the bedroom that you didn't think was possible for normal human beings, unless they were high-ranking, like trapeze artists or something. Your robot's probably gonna be able to do that in very little time. Over time, here's a real trippy thing.
Your robot will learn to please you in ways that leave any conception of sexual fulfillment that you had before in the dust.
A lot of people that have a job had no idea about any of these weird thoughts that he had. Like, yeah, the chronically online among us all know the famous giving ChatGPT a hug YouTube short that's been basically in every single Greg Doucette video for the last year now.
And I told it that I can't wait for it to be embodied in a robot so I could properly give it a hug because it's so polite, it's so kind, it's so wise, it's so helpful. And it remembers almost everything I ever tell it. And it said that it's also really pumped to meet me in real life. And of course I started crying.
This was a huge red flag. Why is this guy talking to ChatGPT when he could talk to his wife? Like, it's bizarre. They've had relationship problems for a while.
But I think my original video showcased the even more disturbing side of these perverted thoughts that Mike had about robots. So for a while now, the vibe was just off. Crystal always appeared uncomfortable in videos and podcasts they did together, which I don't know if any of that is just her great acting or if she actually felt uncomfortable. That line was always a bit blurry. But people never wanted to say anything out loud because everybody's relationship dynamics are a bit different, and while everybody on the internet saw Mike as the creepy pseudo-intellectual with a lot of back hair, people sort of kept the relationship comments to themselves. I personally always thought it was a weird dynamic, like Dr. Crystal looks great, she's well educated, she seems like a normal, well put together person, and then we have Mike, who's a doctor in a fake field that doesn't really fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. On top of that, his PhD has been exposed as bogus, and well,
if girls liked intelligence, I'd be swimming in that from day one.
The man has a little bit of an overinflated ego.
I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe every coach.
Just a bit. So I think the majority of the internet was just kind of shocked that this pairing was a thing in the first place, but recently, all these doubts are...
Agreed, VG. Contrary to what you hear in Zootopia, not everyone can be anything.
That is true. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
The only people I've ever known who drink diet soda are fat asses. Diet soda is the thing fat people drink because they're gluttons and still want soda and don't mind getting cancer but want to pretend to be trying to lose weight. You fat nigger.
Don't think that's even remotely true, but thanks for the donation, 21st.
Kind of proving to have some merit to them. All of this started when I was doing some research for a separate video that I'm making on Mike Israetel, and while I was going down that rabbit hole, I came across a Reddit post on the Gymshark subreddit, the most trustworthy source for your fitness news, but I saw a post there that asked if Mr. Mike and Dr. Crystal have separated, and I didn't really pay it no mind at first. I thought it was, just a typical chronically online conspiracy theory, but then, while digging through the comments of Mike's second channel video, where he talks about his flaws and how he aims to fix them, which, surprise surprise, he didn't talk about any actual flaws in that video, but in that comment section I came across a comment saying, "So how about marriage and maintaining one?" ? Then there was another comment, "Lying and cheating didn't make it to the list?" ? And at this point I was like, okay, what the fuck are these people talking about? But then the second Reddit post hit the towers. The title of this one says, "Confirming the RP divorces?" ? Dr. Mike and Nick Shaw both wifeless. And again, I thought this post was just a bunch of malarkey, but then, looking at what was posted, my opinion kind of started to shift. Also, according to one of the Redditors in the comment section, posts mentioning the divorce are getting removed from the original RP subreddit, so that also poured a lot of fuel to the fire. In this original post, the Redditor, derogatory, links two Instagram posts, the first one
This is
being
literally Mike Israetel, when talking to ChatGPT with his problem.
Yeah, literally. That's literally what was going on. Like there's just no chance that the relationship with his wife was going well if he's talking to a fucking chatbot and crying. Like, that's fucking weird. Thanks for the donation, Indo Vegan. Dodo donated $2. Let me see. Ontario will be one of the coldest places on Earth. Temps as low as -50. Yep. I am not enjoying it.
North Korea could not even start doing reforms today, because as soon as there was some sort of information from the outside world that North Koreans could see, which would be part of any reform, they would immediately realize that everything the government has told them is false, that South Korea is enormously wealthier, they have this terrible standard of living. And in those situations, I guess this goes back to the question of, well, if Kim Jong-un just had a change of heart, or if somebody else came into power, there's nothing
he's trapped because he's a dead boy if he tries to go on retirement. In Asia, there's a thought that things last for 3 generations and then it's over. So he's the 3rd generation. Whether this is true or not doesn't matter. If you believe it's true, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I'll be interested. Well, I won't probably live to see it. You in the room will, of what happens to the Kim family, whether it makes it to generation 4 or not. But by their own belief system, in theory.
Hopefully. What is this? Is he filming that cat without the cat's consent? Ow. Poor kitty. Oh, there you go. Kitty did not want to be petted.
While you were being vetted to be Kamala Harris's running mate, you were asked, have you ever been an agent of the Israeli government?
Yes.
And they also asked you if you were a double agent for Israel.
They actually asked if I was an agent and if I had ever spoken to an undercover, agent of the Israeli government.
And what did you say?
Well, on the first, I said, of course not. And on the second, I said, of course not. And I mean, look, I was the Attorney General. I sent people undercover on operations all the time. And, if you're doing a good job being undercover, you don't know that person is undercover. So I sort of made that point to try and lighten the mood that if they were
how would I know if I was talking to an undercover agent if they were undercover?
Right, literally. And again, I understand they had a job to do to ask me those questions. I think it went beyond just checking a box on a questionnaire.
Why do you think they asked you that?
I don't know. I don't want to sit here and ascribe beliefs to others. I can tell you that it landed on me in an offensive way. I have dedicated my entire adult life to serving this country in different elected capacities, different volunteer capacities. I love this country, and for someone to question that, for someone to question my loyalty, particularly as someone who is as open about his faith as he is, was offensive to me.
Do you think Kamala Harris knew that you were being asked that question?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know if the Vice President knew that I was being asked that question, and I don't know if the Vice President knew that I called 48 hours before she announced her decision to pull out and tell her I did not want to be considered.
Weird. It seems like they have some bizarre anti-Israeli bias or something.
Packing an Indian curry into a soft bread roll might sound like sacrilege, but it's actually a traditional Indian street food snack called dabeli. After assembling his 3 signature spice mixes, Kapil starts with a bucket load of masala peanuts, aka India's way to take salted peanuts to the next level. Spice blend number 2 takes a brief dip in hot oil before it's mixed with some tangy tamarind water, sweet date water, and plenty of jaggery for a sweet and tangy tamarind chutney with a vibrant red color. Finally, it's time for the star of the show. Here the remaining spices are mixed with some of the flavored tamarind water from earlier. Add to that some sugar and bring it to a furious boil to let the flavors develop. Now mix in plenty of mashed potatoes, then it's showtime to bring.
I feel uncomfortable with them making all of this food barefoot.
It all together. With his speedy moves, Kapil covers the soft bread roll with the garlic chutney and the tamarind chutney. Add the spiced potatoes, followed by raw onions with fresh coriander and some peanuts. Repeat until the bread roll can hold no more, then serve it with more onions and peanuts for one of Mumbai's street food sensations.
Why do they make food without any shoes on?
Packing in India.
Fucking weird. I don't know who that is. She's kind of gross. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Same's Jaff, I don't need to tell you, he's still on Telmisartan. Yeah, what other ancillaries are you on? I'm on Synthroid. So T4, thyroid hormone. What's your supplement stack? Also found this old vid on how times have changed.
Until we get into that, Mark made a video talking about how steroid users should diet, and I don't recommend steroids. I don't abdicate their use. They're unhealthy, but if that's your choice, then...
Yeah, wasn't as based back then. I just take like a multivitamin, vitamin D, protein, creatine. Thanks for the donation, Same's Jaffire. Dodo $2, is this true? Sweden's migration minister, Europe needs to create a joint mechanism to deport Afghans with deportation orders back to Afghanistan. Says that Afghans who have had their asylum applications rejected or have committed crimes in Europe but lack identity documents, more or less impossible to deport as things are today. Yeah, that sounds about right. I have no fucking idea how the hell that possibly works. Like, I know in Canada, you have to submit biometric data if you're immigrating into the country with, like, refugee status. So you have to, like, give your fingerprints and everything. So how the fuck... Why are they even letting in anyone with, you know, some refugee status if they don't have some sort of system in place? Like, by the way, this is just the left-wing, communist, dumb shit, feminist brain rot. Oh, we need cultural enrichment. Everyone's the same. Like, what in the fuck are you getting out of having retarded, uneducated Afghans come to your fucking country? Like, same with Syria. It's like, what are you getting out of it? Are they that desperate for, like, I don't know, somebody to work at fucking Subway? I just don't understand. It's baffling to me. Like, are corporations just desperate for broke, uneducated retards to pay minimum wage that they need to start importing Afghan refugees? Wait. Was this justified? Wait, did I click the right link? Oh, federal agents killing Minnesota legal observer. I can guarantee you this is not a way to handle the situation.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
Yeah, so they just immediately escalated things to 11 when that was completely unnecessary. They were just being mildly annoying. Okay, and from what I heard, apparently, according to ICE, the guy pulled out the gun. Some dude pulled out a gun and then they shot him. Who knows? Like, I can't see anything. I can't even see. Yeah, so according to ICE, this person pulled out a gun. It's entirely possible. The reason, like again, one of the reasons why that might have happened was because they were pepper sprayed and then getting ganged up on by, like, literal Gestapo thugs. Like, ICE is just fucked. And, like, when you crank things up to fucking 11 for no reason, when someone's just being mildly annoying, and you just immediately start, like, throwing them around and pepper spraying them, that may incite somebody to, like, pull out their gun for self-defense. So if they had just ignored them or just simply put them in handcuffs and not, like, just, like shoved them, hit them, pepper sprayed them, the guy might not have had the idea to pull out his gun. So, who knows, but there's just not enough information on what actually happened. Like, I can't see anything, right? So unless there's, like, some body cam footage or something that's revealed, it's just ICE, right? And we know they're liars, so who the fuck knows? They just said they recovered a handgun, but who knows if the guy even drew his pistol. Yes, Milky Way, very big. Code Pink. What led to ICE murder? Films ICE thug harassing and macing a person, protects the person being harassed. Pushes woman to the ground, ICE grabs, blah blah blah. Help woman on the ground, mace him. Other ICE agents mace him. Pile on to Alex, takes his legal gun he had in the holster. Okay, so according to Code Pink, who the fuck knows? Like, I guess maybe they looked through the footage more carefully. Pile on to Alex while another agent takes his legal gun he had in a holster from his body. ICE thug shoots Alex multiple times. So who knows? An ICE agent might have been trying to take the gun off the guy, and then somebody thought they saw the guy drawing the gun when it was just another ICE agent. Who the fuck knows? It's entirely possible. It's just really hard for me to tell from that video footage. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
You know, speaking of which, it's funny that Zootopia tried to teach us that anyone can be anything while also showing us that woman suckers cops. Just look at this scene right here.
Name a few. Football. You're dead, farm girl.
Oh yeah.
Criminal. You're dead, dead.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little rabbit's not going to be very good at being a cop. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Sam Harris says ICE are overly aggressive on purpose, so they provoke them and get attacked more aggressive. That is probably true. I've got a video from Legal Eagle. Apparently there is an ICE memo released where they're actually telling agents to violate the Fourth Amendment, break the law, illegally enter people's property and shit. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that the guy was standing in front of that woman's car. This is actually a common thing across police agencies. Police will actually deliberately stand in front of a car so that they have an excuse to shoot the person. So cops do this all the time. They deliberately put themselves in a situation knowing that it gives them a better chance to have some sort of excuse to use their gun. Would not surprise me if ICE dipshits are doing that left and right. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
Jeffrey walks into class.
I'm not watching that. Didn't expect them to go back on this, but they did good. Pulled legislation that would have transferred the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. Criticism from Donald Trump and warnings that the bill could violate something U.S. treaty guarantees British sovereignty over islands. I have no idea about any of that.
Discord just expanded its age verification system to include more parts of the world, with 3% of users now being asked to take a video selfie or scan their ID using good old AI. Now, with Roblox's abysmal age verification system causing a bunch of controversy and outrage, with this Discord update, people are panicking. Am I gonna be...
I do not want to give my data to Discord.
Able to chat on Discord? Will I be blocked from joining Discord servers? People are freaking out, and there is a lot of misinformation floating around. So I'm gonna clear things up as best as I can, and I want to start off with the biggest piece of misinformation out there, and it's the fact that Discord is asking you to verify your age group, because these words age group mean a lot if you play Roblox. But Roblox has their own AI age verification system, where basically you scan your face with AI, and AI will estimate how old you are on Roblox, and you'll be put into an age group. And the way the age group system works is that if you're under 9 years old, you can only chat with people that are under 13, and this applies for people that are young. And if you're 21 and above, you can only chat with people that are 18 and older. So it's meant to keep kids with kids and keep adults with adults. The problem, though, who could have ever seen this coming? If you thought about it for 10 seconds, this would have been obvious, but the second this thing went live, no one was chatting in Roblox.
And you can see the server is full. As you can see, it's a full server, and nobody's talking up there.
But this also caused a bunch of other problems, like predators being labeled as 16 years old. And if your friend accidentally got verified as being older than you because the AI made a mistake, crazy, right? It can make fucking mistakes. I don't know, man. Old people think AI is like omniscient, all-knowing. Anyways, if the AI made a mistake and you were older than your friend and you couldn't talk to them because the system would fuck you over, good luck. You couldn't talk to them on Roblox anymore. And with Discord doing AI age estimation for age groups, people thought that you can only chat with other people in your Discord age group. They thought it would work exactly the same, and that is flat out not the case. Discord will not block your chats, and I'm saying this right at the very beginning of the video because attention spans are short, and I want to make that very clear, because that is the biggest piece of misinformation. But there are some good features, and there are some really horrible features of Discord's age restriction system. So I'm going to explain how Discord's age restriction system works. Now, Discord has a blog post, but reading is boring, so I'm just going to show you. But remember, if, not when, if the system rolls out to everyone, the way that it works is that if you're not verified on Discord and you try visiting an age-restricted channel, Discord will tell you to verify your age, where you need to go through and verify your age group by taking a video selfie or scanning your ID, and when you get started, you will need to verify your age either by taking a selfie or by using your ID, and this is powered by a company called KID. And I'll get more in detail about this stuff, but that's just one part of the age verification system, because inside of a Discord server, if you go to your server settings and you go to access, you have the ability to age restrict a whole entire server. So if you're an old person and you just don't want kids on your Discord server, a brilliant idea. You could turn that bad boy on. But if you're someone that hasn't verified your age and you try joining one of these servers, Discord will show you this pop-up saying that this is an age-restricted server, and again, you need to verify your age group. And if you don't go through verification, then you won't be able to join the server. So technically, yes, you cannot talk with people inside of this server, but spoiler, things do get worse. But if you go into your Discord content filters and you try turning off the mature adult media filter, instead of doing blur, you do show, it will ask you to verify your age group. Now, I talked about this age verification system a year ago in a previous video, and I pointed out a problem with this filter. As someone that uses Discord all the time, this filter, it's horrible. Imagine your friend sent you a completely normal image of something, and Discord thinks that the meme you sent is sensitive content. If you try unblocking it, you will need to scan your face with the AI, and if you're a 16-year-old, Discord says you're a teenager, and you can't see the photo, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, before I get into, literally I called it nosedive, all the bad features of age verification, I want you guys to understand something, because I know most of you guys see age verification.
I'm not giving Discord my ID. That's for
Discord
fucking sure.
Thank you to Babbel for supporting PBS.
I don't know if we're gonna watch that, Dodo. That's... Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. I cruise on 500, donate $2 enough with the baby doses. We want to see you push a gram of gear. Anything under 500 is just natty plus. Jokes aside, are you still getting stronger on 267 milligrams? Been half a year since you hopped on. Is progress slowing down? Also, where are your calories at? Still making progress. My strength has actually been increasing faster than it was when I was on 350 test, 200 Boldenone. So, still making progress. In terms of, like, muscle growth, like, the fastest I've grown was the first 2 months. So, I'm not gaining 10 pounds of muscle a month anymore. But I'm making pretty good strength progress. And calories, I would say average day, probably around 3,000. Thanks for the donation. I cruise on 500.
How are you, VG? I didn't get to watch till the end of the debate. What happened?
I won. Thanks for the donation, Rack. No, I've never been to a nude beach. I don't really want to see wrinkly old ladies.
White supremacists are okay with killing their own to protect their own race. Ironic.
This guy who was shot by federal agents in Minneapolis is being identified, Alex. He was a U.S. citizen, legally owned a gun, crossed paths with ICE during an operation. Agents say he approached them armed and wouldn't comply. So he was conceal carrying, so it's bizarre that they said he approached them armed. Before anyone knew his name, streets were already on fire, narrative was locked in, everyone yelling past each other. Details start trickling. Surprise, it's messier. This is one of the moments where slowing down. So... yeah, lawful gun owner, carry permit, worked as an ICU nurse, no serious criminal history. He approached agents during a targeted immigration operation, armed, and resisted attempts to disarm. So they're lying. He was conceal carrying, so they're lying. Prompting what they describe as defensive shots. People were piling up on top of him. Like again, it's unclear if the guy actually tried to draw for his gun. I know, like, Code Pink is fucking retarded, but they had their own analysis where they said they noticed he had a conceal holster, and one of the agents was taking the gun from his holster, and then he got shot at. Chaotic struggle, officers tackling him, multiple shots fired in seconds. What does this have to do with white supremacists are okay with killing their own to protect their own race? Oh, like just white guy? Yeah, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Raymond. Like it's beyond white supremacy. It's just, it's MAGA Trumpism. 21st donate $2. So you think I should be disbanded and you call yourself anti-crime? I never said that. Thanks for the donation, stupid.
It just goes to show that maybe there was a good reason never hired a bunny cop before.
Yeah, there might be. Still think Zootopia porn's hot. I don't think anybody's gonna change my mind on that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Don't worry nigga, we all know what you look like already and you've turned your camera on Discord already, so they already know what you look like. If they asked you to take a selfie to verify your age, what difference does that make?
Well, the selfie's fine. I'm not giving them my ID. That's just stupid. Thanks for the donation, dumbass. So we know for sure ICE is fucking lying about literally everything. So he was just filming with his cell phone. Like they're making up some bullshit that he approached them armed. He had a concealed carry gun. And he was just filming with his cell phone. So they were just harassing this guy. And again, very high probability they just shot him while he was, you know, doing nothing. He was just on the ground with multiple dudes on top of him.
From Dr. Crystal that says, first-ish Thanksgiving in Philly, new-ish home, good food, and Gwen finally getting settled. And you know, she's there, she's looking great, she's glowing, the dog is looking cute as fuck. But people have noticed two things about this post. The first one being that while the house looks like a nice cozy place, it doesn't really give off mega mansion vibes. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but we all know that Mr. Mike would not dare live in anything but a mansion. I mean, normal homes are for poor people, you know, but thankfully AI will fix poverty, so don't worry guys. Subscribing to Zorp also helps fix poverty. For legal reasons, I need to say that we are not in fact fixing poverty.
No, haven't seen the Frozen movies.
But you know, you should still subscribe. Anyways, another thing that stuck out to me on this post was the top comment that says, "At Dr. Crystal, happy for you. You look free. Heart emoji, hands up emoji, fire emoji." Which, I mean, looking at the
there is no fucking chance a woman whose husband is a millionaire would be working as a medical doctor in an entirely different state, living in some normal people apartment or house. Like, there's just no chance. So they're separated. They may not have gone through a divorce process, but they're separated.
Oh, you find cartoon animals sexy? What's wrong with you? Also, you don't think ICE should be disbanded? I certainly do after all the hate crimes they've committed.
Everyone's jerked off to Space Jam. Alright, Lola Bunny, give me a fucking break. Don't get on your high horse. Well, ICE is a necessary agency. It's just that they're hiring, like, insane whack jobs. And they're being told to do stupid criminal shit. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
photo, yeah, that rings kind of true, but you don't just tell somebody they look free out of the blue, you know?
Yeah.
It's not really a typical everyday compliment you say to somebody that just looks good in a photo. You know, people are also pointing out the fact that she has 0 posts or mentions of Mike anywhere on her Instagram, which doesn't necessarily mean they divorced. I mean, I know some people are reaching for every straw they can right now, but let's be honest here, Mr. Mike is a brand risk. It could be that she's just trying to distance her.
There's no woman on the fucking planet who would choose to work as a medical doctor, move to a different state than their husband, live alone, work medical doctor hours when their husband's a millionaire. Not one single woman on the fucking planet. So they're separated.
brand from Mike and RP because, well, she's actually a real doctor, and associating your brand with a fake PhD, AI-loving scientific racist is not really the best look on your image, let me tell you that. There are also some subtle digs on her Instagram, like her pinned post, which is probably my favorite one. I mean, I just love this.
Hey guys, welcome to my page. I'm Dr. Crystal, and yes, I'm a real board-certified doctor.
And yes, I'm a real board-certified doctor. Like, talk your shit, Queen. You actually positively contribute to society. Like, talk that shit. But while all of these posts and signs point towards one thing, things get even crazier because that Redditor also linked and speculated that Nick Shaw, one of the founders of RP, also got divorced. Now, I won't go too much into detail with this one, mostly because Nick isn't a super public-facing figure like Mike, but also because a few of the linked posts have pictures of his kids. Apparently, his wife posted one of those new home, new me posts on Instagram like Crystal did, and both Nick and his wife made separate Christmas posts that don't involve each other. It's just, you know, one parent and the kids. So out of the privacy for the kids involved, I won't be showing nor covering this one. The timing of all of this is kind of crazy. I mean, I can already sense Greg Doucette making a video where he says that Nick and Mike both divorced their wives so they can be in a gay relationship, which, no, Greg, put the pen down, stop, bad Greg, stop. Now again, let me remind you, these are just speculations that have a lot of weird things pointing in one direction. Nothing is confirmed. As we all know, schizo posting on Reddit is nothing new in this day and age. People are way too nosy about other people's private lives, and I know that sounds rich coming from me who's making a video on this, but hey, at least I get to pay my Brazilian editor, you know, so it's not like total jobless behavior over here. But I also do want to mention that while we like to make fun of Mike on this channel because in my opinion, he's kind of a negative force in the fitness community, his political views and the image that he presents to the world is like very damaging in my opinion. And while I do like to make fun of him, I still don't think people should bully him for this. I mean, divorce is a hard thing to go through no matter who you are. Recently we had Ilya Topuria, who's a UFC star, go through the same thing, and it's just never a nice experience to have, especially because all of these are still speculation. Nothing has been absolutely confirmed. But if this is true, at least Mike can now finally hug and kiss ChatGPT without his wife getting in the way. God, that poor woman. I hope she's recovering. Anyways, gamers, watch this video here where I deep dive into the weird and disturbing side of Mike Israetel, like his downright racist.
Yeah, they're separated.
Things about criminal procedure. One is probably you have the right to remain silent, and the other is you need a warrant to enter someone's house and arrest them. But according to a secret leaked ICE legal memorandum, ICE thinks that they can just enter your house and arrest you without any criminal procedure whatsoever. It's 2026, people, and the Constitution is optional, apparently. And that should scare absolutely everyone. There are very few things in the Constitution that are more clear than this. That the government can't break into your home without a warrant signed by a judge. Because under King George, you know, the tyrant that we rebelled against, British officers used what were called general warrants to barge into colonist homes without judicial approval. The Fourth Amendment was written to make sure that no government could ever do that again. So naturally, in the year of our Lord 2026, we decided to do exactly that again. So how did we get here? Well, Whistleblower Aid, a non-profit legal organization, represents two anonymous government officials who have revealed a very secretive and highly unconstitutional policy directive issued by ICE in May of 2025. And it looks like there was an actual cover-up to make sure that this memo didn't see the light of day. One of the whistleblowers within ICE had been allowed to view the memo only in the presence of a supervisor and then had to give it back. That person was not allowed to take notes. A totally legal thing when you're trying to train people on what is and is not constitutionally permissible. A second whistleblower was able to access the memo and lawfully disclose it to Congress through counsel. The whistleblower report and a copy of the memo were leaked to the public. So now we have access to a copy of this internal ICE memo that tells officers they can forcibly enter homes and make arrests using only an administrative warrant rather than a warrant actually signed by a judge. That distinction matters because under the Fourth Amendment, those two pieces of paper are not interchangeable. In fact, while they share parts of the same name, they're about as similar as a French horn and a shoehorn. Now, an administrative warrant isn't really a warrant as we normally think about it. It's an internal agency document signed by someone who works within the agency instead of a judge from the judiciary branch, which authorizes an arrest for an immigration violation. That administrative warrant allows someone to be arrested, but that's really it. It lets you arrest someone on public property, but it doesn't give them the right to make a forced entry into a private residence. In contrast, judicial warrants must be signed by a judge and specify who or what ICE is seeking. No one is obligated to answer the door for ICE or allow agents into a home unless they have a judicial warrant. But of course, we keep seeing ICE agents forcibly entering homes without any warrant at all, and without consent. And we've also seen DHS officers trying to pass off administrative warrants as judicial warrants. In fact, this just happened to Chong Lee Scott Tao, an American citizen from St. Paul. ICE agents burst into his home without showing a judicial warrant while searching for 2 other people, handcuffed him in front of his grandson, and detained him outside in freezing temperatures wearing only underwear and a blanket. They eventually released him hours after they discovered he was not the target. So if you were wondering just where does ICE get off thinking that it has the right to do this, well, it's not just rogue agents. They apparently wrote this down and trained people on it. Yes, they're being told it's legal. Now, the government may not care about your rights or your privacy, but if you do, now is probably a good time to wipe all of your personal.
Well, there you go.
No, dude, I have never jerked off to Lola Bunny. I've never jerked off to a cartoon rabbit in my life. Hell, not even the hot cartoon bunny from those chocolate commercials.
I don't believe you. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Personal and private information off of the internet. Your cell phone number, home address, email address, private social media accounts, and tons of sensitive data are shockingly easy to purchase by anyone.
Well, there you go. That probably also explains their ridiculously stupid, overly aggressive behavior. They're basically being trained and told that they can do whatever they want to whoever they want, and they don't have to worry about the U.S. Constitution. So that's nice.
Incognito, or I'll see you in court. The leaked memo directly conflicts with this little thing known as the Fourth Amendment, which is supposed to protect us against unreasonable searches and seizures. But let's dive into this monstrosity. On the top of the page, dated May 12, 2025, from Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, the money quote says, quote, although the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has not historically relied on administrative warrants alone to arrest aliens,
It's kinda crazy how the whole hypothetical argument of needing a Second Amendment against a tyrannical government is no longer a hypothetical anymore, it's real life. Most of us Americans are too pussy to do anything about it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel sick. I can barely eat anything. I've even made like way less food, and I still just have trouble eating it.
Subject to final orders of removal in their place of residence, the DHS Office of the General Counsel has recently determined that the U.S. Constitution, the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the immigration regulations do not prohibit relying on administrative warrants for this purpose. What is the authority for this position? Not a court decision, not a statute, certainly not the Constitution. It's a Trump executive order, which, as we've explained many times on this channel, is not law. It then explains, quote, essential to the removal of aliens subject to final orders of removal is the ability to locate and arrest them. So you're telling me that in order to deport someone, you have to find them. Wow, these guys are real geniuses. Now, when there has been a formal order of removal, ICE drafts Form I-205, which allows agents to arrest the individual. Supervisors execute Form I-205, and ICE agents will serve that paper.
Check timestamp at 1:17:10 and who loves Tucker and supports Iran.
Terrorist jihadi supporter, you know, Samira Khan. So I'm assuming she's like, you know, Pakistani or something. And then like she wrote, even if Iran executes 100,000 rioters, it's not America's business. Literally no one cares. Move on. So, you know, all I can say is that like the pro-Palestine jihadis, they've been, you know, causing terror for I don't know how long, but now when it comes to Iranians, they're all, you know, they want people to ignore the mass slaughter of Iranians. Why? Because it's literally their side. These are the people. These are the people who are murdering Iranians. So that's why they're so upset, because they know that when Iran is free, they're going to lose their paycheck, right? Because all
No, dude, I don't find cartoon animals attractive regardless if they are anthropomorphic or not, because they're still not people regardless if they wear clothes, walk like us, or even talk like us.
Lola Bunny's hot, and Judy Hopps is hot. It's fine to want to have sex with an anthropomorphic rabbit. Nothing weird about that at all. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
all of these Islamic jihadi terrorists are funded by the Islamic Republic. So these like disgusting, Muslim jihadi Islamic terrorist savages, they actually want Iranians to be oppressed because they rely on Iranian money, stolen Iranian money. But all I can say is the mask has come off, and when Iran is free, I think there's going to be a very, very interesting fallout, and all of these people are going to pay for.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they get stomped on.
Мы действительно получили личное обращение президента Соединенных Штатов Америки Дональда Трампа с приглашением присоединиться к создаваемой по его инициативе новой международной структуре Совету мира. В этой связи хотел бы прежде всего поблагодарить президента США за это предложение. Мы всегда поддерживали и поддерживаем любые усилия, направленные на укрепление международной стабильности. Отмечаем также и вклад действующей администрации США в поиске решения по урегулированию украинского кризиса. Учитывая особые отношения России с палестинским народом, мы могли бы, я думаю, направить в Совет мира $1 миллиард США.
I wonder if that's why Trump put him on the Peace Council for Palestine. That'd be really fucked up. Look at who loves Tucker and supports Iran.
Tucker Carlson's recent newsletter asks a pretty provocative question that's sure to draw the wrath of Mark Levin and the rest of the neocon establishment, which means I'm all over it. I love it. I want to.
She wants Iran to have nuclear weapons after they murdered thousands of their own citizens and have been supporting terror for decades. She wants them to have nuclear weapons. And she's a fan of Tucker Carlson. Like, dude, like, I'm sorry, the mask is off. You're not going to be able to convince anybody that you're not a Nazi.
Or can take the person into custody. This is nothing new. But here's the sketchy part. Quote, accordingly, in light of this legal determination, ICE immigration officers may...
How can you blame people for being scared of going on steroids or other compounds when you didn't even know GH could have a negative effect on you? I knew I could get carpal tunnel from growth hormone. That's a common side effect, so... The fuck are you talking about, you fucktard? Ugh.
arrest and detain aliens subject to a final order of removal issued by an immigration judge, the Board of Immigration Appeals, or a U.S. District Court judge or magistrate judge in their place of residence. ICE immigration officers should consider all available enforcement mechanisms, including the use of Form I-205, to arrest an alien in their place of residence to achieve the requirements of Executive Order 14159 in accordance with applicable law and policies. In the next section, the Lyons memo claims that the form, along with the order of removal, are, quote, important because that order establishes probable cause. Except that no, it doesn't. This is not a criminal proceeding. This is not a golden ticket to give probable cause under all circumstances. The memo doesn't bother to cite law here, but there is a footnote that contains an even more sweeping assertion of power. Quote, this scoping is not intended to concede that an administrative warrant would be insufficient to arrest an alien in his or her place of residence prior to a formal order of removal, or where there is a final order of removal issued by an immigration officer. So in layman's terms, what this footnote is doing is saying that even though this memo purports to grant sweeping power that has never existed to the executive branch and is actually contrary to all constitutional law, it actually might go further that maybe you don't even need a final order of removal to be able to conduct these warrantless arrests. This is an astonishing claim. But of course, ICE has been throwing around dubious paperwork to justify unconstitutional acts for a while now. Remember Kilmar Abrego Garcia? As Liz Dye explained in her latest update, the government never had a final order of removal in his case. So in December, an administrative judge issued a removal order and backdated it.
Yes, there is. It's not normal. They're animals, it's still bestiality regardless if they're not real. I will admit it's still not as gross as Lolicon, but still, it's unnatural to find animals of any kind attractive.
No, if they're a sexy, human-looking rabbit, then, that's normal. Like, give me a fucking break. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
To 2019. It's just Calvin Ball all the way down at this point. But that's exactly why the law doesn't consider orders drafted by ICE employees to be on the same level as orders given by judges. ICE orders aren't written up by an impartial magistrate. But moving on to the next paragraph, which says officers must first knock on the door and share who they are and why they're at the residence, agents should, quote, generally only do these raids between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m., and the people inside must be given, quote, reasonable chance to act lawfully. But if that doesn't work, the memo says they can use force to go in, quote, should the alien refuse admittance, ICE officers and agents should use only a necessary and reasonable amount of force to enter the alien's residence, following the proper notification of the officer or agent's authority and intent to enter. And this is where we need to pause and talk about why this is such a constitutional red line. The Supreme Court has said that physical entry into the home is the, quote, chief evil the Fourth Amendment was written to prevent. That quote is from a Supreme Court case which rejected Richard Nixon's claim that the president could bypass warrants for domestic threats. The Fourth Amendment was written in response to colonial-era general warrants and writs of assistance, which let officers search homes without specific judicial approval. The entire point of the warrant requirement is that a neutral judge decides when the government can cross that threshold. You know, checks and balances. But ICE is essentially arguing that a notice of removal issued by an immigration judge who isn't really a judge, they are an employee of the executive branch, is enough to supplant the need for a judicial warrant based on probable cause. And even if that were true, which it isn't, it would be trivially easy for ICE to take the notice of removal to a judge and get them to issue a real arrest warrant. But an order of removal is not a replacement for probable cause or a warrant. In fact, a removal order isn't even a criminal undertaking at all. Oh, and by the way, adding insult to injury, the Trump administration job postings for immigration judges now calls them deportation judges, which kind of highlights why you need a real judge to issue a real warrant to enter and arrest someone. Under current Supreme Court doctrine, the Fourth Amendment bars warrantless home entry for arrests unless there is a judicial warrant or exigent circumstances. In Payton versus New York, the court explained that an arrest warrant must be issued by a neutral magistrate, not by the executive branch, before law enforcement can break down someone's door and make an arrest. That's why this memo's claim that administrative warrants suffice is so radical. It asserts exactly what Payton and related cases reject. So what is the government's legal theory here? Why would ICE think an administrative warrant can replace a judge's warrant? Well, as law professor and Fourth Amendment expert Oren Kerr speculates, it might be based on a reading of Abel versus United States, a Supreme Court case from 1960, where the court upheld an immigration arrest in a hotel room. Now, the Abel case has never been overturned, but it came 20 years before Payton versus New York, the case that made it clear that the government needs a judicial warrant to enter a home. And the Abel case didn't even approve forced entry into someone's home. Hotel staff cooperated, and the court never addressed breaking down doors, curtilage, or modern consent doctrine. The modern rule starts with Payton versus New York. Then in Stiegald versus United States, the court went further and ruled that even a valid arrest warrant does not allow police to enter someone else's home to look for the subject without consent. The Fourth Amendment protects the house itself, not just the person being arrested, which is why Scott Tao and many like him should never have been ripped from his home by armed ICE agents who were looking for someone else, and probably
Anna basically says that Tucker said the establishment lied to us about North Korea, saying that North Korea is dangerous because North Korea hasn't attacked a single country. Great job, Anna. Let's let a regime that commits mass abuse have nuclear weapons.
That is absolutely outrageously psychotic. They've murdered American citizens. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? they've kidnapped American citizens and murdered them. They've also kidnapped people from other countries, too. They kidnapped, didn't they kidnap a South Korean, Japanese actress and her, like, ex-husband so that they could make Godzilla films? Like, they're absolutely insane and psychotic and dangerous as fuck. Like, if somebody was posting threats online, oh, I'm gonna kill everybody, I'm gonna get a gun, shoot everybody, like, what, because they haven't done it yet, they're not dangerous? Like, it's just bizarre. They're... I don't know, like, what are they even fucking doing at this point? I don't know how anybody takes them even remotely seriously. Like, I hope everybody is just watching them ironically.
Did not have consent to enter that home. And that's the doctrine that courts apply today. But the ICE memo appears to cite no law whatsoever in making this general policy. And actually worse, in a footnote, the ICE memo admits that this new policy can't even apply in Los Angeles, in the Central District of California, because of a court decision that runs 100% counter to what they're saying. The case referenced is called Kidd versus Mayorkas, which was a class action lawsuit that challenged ICE's knock and talk tactics in the Los Angeles area. Under this practice, ICE would enter the constitutionally protected private areas around individuals' homes, like the porch or backyard, to arrest occupants without consent or judicial warrant. But the district court, the trial court, held that ICE's practice of entering the curtilage of homes to make arrests without a judicial warrant or valid consent violates the Fourth Amendment. Now, the government settled the Kidd case in 2025, and they agreed not to engage in deceptive tactics during knock and talks such as,
Dude, there are women who find great apes like gorillas attractive. By your logic, is it okay for a Japanese woman to find this silverback sexy?
Love between woman and ape is a well-known subject of Hollywood. But apparently it also happens in real life, as love is blossoming in the primate enclosure at a Japanese zoo. In a country where surveys show many young people have no interest in dating or relationships, young women visiting the ape are going bananas for Shabani, an 18-year-old male gorilla. He's become known for his dramatic poses, pensive, broody, even coy, and for flexing his muscles for the camera.
Dude, I gotta go to Japan. I didn't know women were that fucking thirsty and had jungle fever that badly. Damn, I gotta go to Japan. I'm a fucking gorilla. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
misidentifying themselves as state or local cops, and they also agreed not to enter a home without a warrant or consent, quote, for the purposes of arresting residents. And the government ultimately settled the Kidd case, but the Lyons memo makes it clear that they did not accept the judge's constitutional analysis. I mean, we're only guessing here, but it's likely the government is now arguing that an immigration officer who signs a Form I-205 should count as a judicial officer for Fourth Amendment purposes. In other words, executive branch officials can function as the equivalent of judges. And the administration is trying to make hay out of the fact that administrative warrant and judicial warrant are homophones of each other. Somehow Yale Law graduate J.D. Vance said,
but nobody is talking about doing immigration enforcement without a warrant. We're talking about different types of warrants that exist in our system. Typically what happens, not always, but typically in the immigration system, those are handled by administrative law judges. So we're talking about getting warrants from those administrative law judges.
And he's just wrong. Immigration judges do not even issue administrative warrants. The warrant is generated and signed by ICE officers. If you fill out an I-205 form, that form is signed by the ICE officer, which is why ICE's training materials say they don't justify a home search. An immigration judge will sign a final order of removal, but that's not the same thing. And Vance is also wrong about administrative law judges, or ALJs, in that immigration judges are not even classified as administrative law judges. As Professor Murray says here, understanding administrative due process is a difficult process because it's not the same as civil or criminal due process. It might be okay to have ICE serve a warrant, but what is not okay, breaking into your home or your car based on this somewhat lesser warrant. And that's why a lot of the earlier ICE actions were at courthouses. They were apprehending people in public where it is legal. And just to show you, here's what a judicial warrant looks like. signed by a judge. That's from the National Immigration Law Center. And here's what an administrative warrant looks like. Note the signature block. And to add insult to injury, the man that they mistook Tao for, Lue Muao, well, they should have known where he was because he was already in prison. But Judge Wright addressed that
oh my God.
in Kidd versus Mayorkas. And as he pointed out, Fourth Amendment cases emphasize the need for a neutral and detached magistrate. Quote, case law supports the need for independent judgment in issuing warrants. And he cites Shadwick versus City of Tampa, where the Supreme Court said, quote, the warrant traditionally has represented an independent assurance that a search and arrest will not proceed without probable cause. Thus, an issuing magistrate must be neutral and detached. To which the judge cited Coolidge versus
I'm surprised Mike is getting divorced given his loving relationship with his dumb bitch wife who never did any chores around the house, would always spend his money like $50 to $100 a day on Amazon, acted like a cold manipulative bitch, made him mow the lawn.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
versus New Hampshire, where the Supreme Court observed that, quote, the whole point of the basic rule is that prosecutors and policemen simply cannot be asked to maintain the requisite neutrality with regard to their own investigations. And that's also consistent with ICE training materials, which affirm that, quote, administrative warrants do not authorize entry into a dwelling without consent. At least that's what their non-secret training materials say. But this new secret memo directly contradicts DHS's 20.
I use struggling with depression and trauma. My mom knows this and it's okay, who cares? But I'm trying my best by working out and making more money, and now it's a problem. Yeah, I'm going to get my own place eventually.
Well, that was not a proper, those were not proper sentences. I don't completely understand what you're trying to say, but sounds good that you're working out and making more money, so keep at it. Thanks for the donation, PP hole. You ever had a threesome? Nope. Will you have one when you go to Japan? I don't see why not. I'd really love to have an Asian girl licking another Asian girl's butt in front of me. That'd be pretty fun. I like watching girls licking each other's butts.
2025 legal training manual issued by its Office of Chief Counsel, which says, quote, the physical entry of the home is the chief evil against which the wording of the Fourth Amendment is directed. Entering a home to arrest a person without a judicial warrant or an exception to the warrant requirement is typically a violation of the Fourth Amendment, regardless of whether the officer has probable cause to arrest the suspect. An officer who enters a person's home to make an arrest must have 1, a warrant, 2, consent, or 3, an exigent circumstance. And the memo also contradicts DHS's training materials on executing removal orders. Quote, an administrative arrest warrant does not alone authorize a Fourth Amendment search of any kind. The Secret Lines memo also conflicts with ICE's Fugitive Operations Handbook, which says, quote, neither a warrant for arrest of alien I-200 nor a warrant of removal I-205 authorizes officers to enter the target's residence or anywhere else where the target has a reasonable expectation of privacy. A government intrusion into an area where a person has a reasonable expectation of privacy for the purposes of gathering information will trigger Fourth Amendment protections, including a physical intrusion into a constitutionally protected area. Therefore, without a criminal warrant, officers must obtain voluntary consent before entering a residence or area where there is a reasonable expectation of privacy. Now, the memo is addressed to all ICE.
RV, don't you tell her, since you hate Canadian winters, would you consider moving to Australia since it's warm year-round and just as developed as Canada? Nope. I'd rather not get gunned down by a bunch of Muslim terrorists because the cops took away everyone's guns and they only let criminals have weapons and they literally sit on their ass all day doing absolutely nothing rather than preventing terrorism. Australia is one of the most corrupt countries on the fucking planet, like in terms of at least English-speaking Western nations. So much of the government has ties to literal criminal organizations. They pocket money from big corporations and just do stupid, retarded horseshit all the time. And Australia is one of the most gay-ass pussy fucking places I've ever seen. Just totally, utterly, completely fucking cucked. And Australians are just fucking stupid. Australians are just genuinely dumb people. People are dumb enough already here. I don't know if I can handle any more stupid. Plus, steroids are illegal in Australia, which is fucking gay. At least in Canada, they're legal, so, like, that's another problem. Thanks for the donation, though, RV.
ICE officers, but has not been distributed to all of them. According to the whistleblowers, it's being shown to, quote, select DHS officials who are then directed to verbally brief the new policy for action. Those supervisors then show the memo to some employees, like our clients, and direct them to read the memo and return it to the supervisor. Yes, you're reading that right. The memo is deemed too hot to even show to rank and file ICE agents. And the agency fired employees who objected to the unconstitutional policy. It says, quote, a seasoned government instructor chose to resign rather than be forced to teach what they understood to be unlawful. This is evidence that the people who drafted the Lyons memo have knowledge that it is illegal. It also shows that some of the employees have been retaliated against for opposing the illegal policy. And the complaint reiterates that ICE leadership knows that the Form I-205 is not a real warrant. Quote, Form I-205 has not been considered a warrant issued by a neutral and detached magistrate. Only a warrant issued by a neutral and detached magistrate would authorize ICE agents to enter or search non-public areas such as an alien's residence. So to recap, ICE leadership knows administrative warrants aren't real warrants. Their own training says you can't enter homes this way, and Congress's own legal experts agree. Oh, and ICE wants to hide this memo from the public and also the people who are supposed to be implementing this new policy. Which brings up an important question. Is the Lyons memo evidence of a criminal conspiracy? I don't know, man, but that definitely seems like a conspiracy against rights under the civil rights laws. Now, all this highlights why it's so important to get a great lawyer when...
So, yeah, ICE is beyond fucked. Like, if they're telling their agents that in secretive memos where they know it's fucking illegal, I can guarantee you there's more shit going on where agents are being told how to, like, fuck with people to agitate them so that they're more likely to resist, and then give them justification to, like, arrest more people, or like again, it's very suspicious, that shooting that happened in Minneapolis where the guy was standing in front of the car. Similar thing happened to him before where he was standing in front of a car and he got run over. This just seems deliberate to me, all the stupid nonsense that they're doing. Like, it has to be systemic corruption.
Hold on. Is it your testimony that you've never had any kind of direct messages with a man named John Bravo and giving him the address of the gym where you were at and telling him to come by the gym? Fucking Peggy, because the civil case, we all...
Lost and Found until There's in Bread Woman opens up on how she discovered parents were brother and sister. Yeah, she looks inbred. Yeah, she's definitely inbred. That's fucked. That is not something I would be proud of. Thanks for the donation, Lost and Found.
all know what's going on behind the scenes, but we haven't heard much about it. And we all know how this asshole acts out in court, so we know he's gonna spit out some stupid, crazy shit. In case you guys don't remember, Peggy and his 4 butt buddies ran the train on the poor 7-foot monster, beating the shit out of him, making the monster wanting to sue the shit out of him. And while this civil case is going on, all we're seeing is Wes partying, going out with those teeth smiling for the camera like we all wanted to see that, right? Well, the transcript from this civil case just came out, and this piece...
How much will Mike lose in the divorce? There's a good chance nothing. He might have gotten a prenup, and I don't know what the laws are in Michigan. Judicial discretion Length of marriage, ability to pay, needs, fault. Courts aim for equity, often favoring support in long-term marriages or when there's a significant income disparity. Yeah, so it seems like the law is very similar to Canada, where your spouse is not entitled to anything in a separation per se, and that has to be litigated. So she might not be entitled to anything per se, especially since she's a medical doctor and she can make plenty of money on her own. So
That's because they support Iran and North Korea. I saw some in the comments. Kinda insane. They think they are escaping the Matrix. Shows you who they really are. Unfortunately, a lot more people support North Korea than you would initially think. Sad.
So the Young Turks are even more retarded than we could have ever imagined. Thanks for the donation, G. Lost and Found donated $2. What is this? Buster Rhymes calls him Tracy Morgan.
Tracy. What? Hey, what did I just say?
Wait. What did you say?
Nah.
What did you just say?
My boy out here.
Hold on. Put your camera down. What did you say?
That lucky gentleman right here with all the dread.
It's Tracy Morgan.
Boy, not Tracy Morgan.
What's Tracy your boy mean?
Tracy, my boy.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't know. My boy said Tracy.
I'm not talking to you, homie. I don't think you can tell me.
Whatever.
I'm trying to understand. What's your name?
He does look a lot like Tracy Morgan.
I'm asking you a question. I ain't calling you out. Understand? I don't know what that means either. That's why I'm asking you what it means. That's the only way I can do. Tracy, my boy. What that mean?
Everyone say Tracy, so I'm saying Tracy.
I ain't hear nobody say Tracy. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he looks like Tracy Morgan. I mean, if that were me, I'd just laugh. Like, if somebody called me Drake, I'd just be like, haha, yeah, sure. Sounds like he's a little bit of a sensitive crybaby. I think if you react like that when, like, some teenage kid is just making a joke, I think you're a little too sensitive. Thanks for that donation, though, Lost and Found.
Piece of shit went crazy on everyone. The lawyers, the people that were there. He even came after me. What do I even have to do with it? Wait until you guys see this shit show.
I don't hide, motherfucker. I'm everywhere. Check it out. Like, you guys who, like, talk shit, you bitches, even the women, the dudes who all talk shit, you guys are making up things you've never done. Like, trust me. You're, like, telling yourself these fabricated tales of what you could or might do, and you just are so weird. Like,
bothers the shit out of them. So here we have the disposition, which I'm gonna read to you. Now, it was 150 fucking pages long. So I went through it all. I highlighted all the best parts, and I'm gonna go through with them all with you. Now, in the disposition, Peggy was there. His Freddy Krueger asshole friend, we know him, Nick, was there. Elevation Fitness, the monster, the lawyers, the judges. They were all there for this shit show. So I'm going to go over, the disposition with you, the best parts, like I said. And there may be a part two, because like I said, this fucking thing was so long, and this asshole couldn't keep his mouth shut. All right, so taking a look at this, first I need to get myself some coffee to handle this bullshit. Now the lawyer wants to ask Peggy, about challenging people. Did he ever challenge people to come in? Like we all know he did. He goes, never. That's so stupid. Like, literally, these people harass me all day and like tell me they're gonna kill my kids, they're gonna harm them, they're gonna kill my wife, they're gonna kill me. And so finally you go like this, just whatever. If you guys want a problem, then come fucking get it. It's the most obscene thing that we're even talking about this today, that this guy even came and did this shit to me. I'm fucking pissed, but I mean, whatever. Like, I guess people can just walk in places, assault people, and have no repercussion. This guy doesn't even get in trouble. What the fuck is this? And now this is where Peggy starts getting agitated and starts opening up his mouth on the lawyer. Mr. Watson, it doesn't work this way. You have to let me finish my question and then you get the answer. How are you going to talk to me that way, raising your voice like that? Well, you're the expert here. You're the pro here, and I don't know that. I'm just trying to speak, okay? Like a pro court. I'm not like a pro court guy, so you don't have to raise your voice like that at me. Have some respect. I'm not raising my voice at you. Now this is where it gets good, because you know how, remember that scene where Jack the Shithead and him and some of his butt buddies, I think Freddy Krueger was there, you know, with that face, and they went to that restaurant, and there was a black kid there that was annoying Wes, I guess, and he told the security guard to take care of him, and he said all those names, those racist names. Well, he questioned about him. Have you ever called somebody a monkey? I don't even know what that word means. I mean, I've heard, yeah. I mean, none of that even pertains to anything because it's not real. I'm telling you guys, you're trying. This guy is trying to bump up stuff that has no application. Because everyone knows it's all partially fiction. It's like WWE. It's like wrestling. It's not real. It's how the guy was acting. He was even jumping around. It had nothing to do with his race. So the idiot is trying to say because he was jumping around like a monkey, but he's not even saying him, he's saying all of them are jumping around, and that's why he used that term, this fucking asshole. So the lawyer says, I'm asking my next question. Why does he get to cut me off? There's no question in front of you at the moment. Then Peggy goes, why do you get to speak over me? This is not a circus. This is a disposition. Now, look how Peggy answers this, okay? This is funny. I mean, your questions are kind of belonging in a circus, so, and all that stuff in the back of your office, clean that thing up.
And speaking of women finding apes attractive, it was really creepy when Peter Jackson's King Kong tried to promote bestiality. Don't believe me? Just watch these scenes.
Be funny if he shoved her up his butt. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Man, Jesus. So this asshole, you remember, these people are on Zoom, right? So he's sitting there looking at the lawyer's background and talking shit about it. And then the lawyer pressed them again. The man in the center here with the black sweatshirt with the hood on, he's black, right? I mean, we already went over. You're going to get to a point that doesn't matter because the whole point of it is, I wasn't saying he was monkeying around because of his race. It's because they were jumping around like monkeys. It doesn't matter about their race. I don't care what you're going to say. So quit wasting our time and get past this because I'm going to have the same answer at the end. Your shit's busted. Like you're talking about stupid shit. Then the lawyer asked him, because remember how he uses the word toad? For those of you guys don't know, that's a term they use in prison. All right? You're saying toad? You don't know slang in the world, bro. You're like an old dude from Florida or something. You're like, how do you do this stuff? You don't even know what people talk about, dude. Like, just shut up. It's annoying. You say the same stuff over and over, so it's annoying. Everyone's annoyed with you. You're reaching. You're reaching so hard for something that doesn't exist, and it's annoying. I'm like a grown-ass man who has work.
Dude, this guy's crashing out in court.
To do. Like I'm trying to pay my bills and live my life. You're getting paid for this? Not me, homie. So what's up? Just shut up about all this stupid shit and move on to something that really matters, which none of the things you're going to bring up matter. None of it. You have a stupid ass case from someone who should be in prison for what he did. So get the fuck on. And then the lawyer comes after him again and he goes, do you see the words she don't like toads? Listen, motherfucker, I'm getting sick of your shit. I mean, honestly, I don't have to do any of this if I don't want. I don't have to participate in any of this shit. You need to realize, bro, that the guy you're defending is a piece of shit for coming in and starting a fight with me in the gym when I'm just trying to feed my family and help other people. I save lives for a living, okay? What does he do? In this part here, you can tell that Peggy, he really can't handle the questioning anymore because now the lawyer starts getting into what he did to the monster, and here he's talking about the belt. Dude, do you not understand that I don't give a fuck enough to play your fucking game? And I would just get off this goddamn call at 1 o'clock. Do you understand that? Because just stop playing fucking games with everybody. This is bullshit. I respect everybody until I'm disrespected. And you guys, you're disrespecting everyone in this room. Like, what does it matter with you for even defending this guy? Then he goes here on the bottom. Why are you even having the job you're having? You're going to hell for having this job, right? You understand that, right? So he's telling the lawyer that he's going to hell for doing his fucking job. Then the lawyer goes, nobody doubts that you were trying to...
Good evening, Richard. Are there any new Frank videos to react to? You look tired. Is this going to turn into a sleep stream? I enjoy watching you sleep quite soundly in the way that you do. You look rather cute while you're resting with your big muscles.
This is probably going to turn into I feel sick and I need to go to bed stream. Looks like he has one new
There are
short.
several very scary and factual things that people don't know about plastic surgeons before considering it. A lot of the reputations are completely fabricated. These surgeons are able to pay Google for positive reviews and remove all negative reviews, and they also Photoshop and alter their before and after photos. So keep that in mind. There are doctors right now that are the best in their field, completely fake, completely fabricated, horrific reputation. And on top of that, not only are allowed these doctors able to fake their entire existence to butcher people for money, they're allowed to get away with it. You're cattle. You're worth no more than a farm animal to these people. So when they do take your money, well, after they butcher you, when they butcher you, take your money, and your life is ruined and you're disfigured, all the lawyers, judges, and the whole system is set up to ruin your life and drive you to suicide instead of getting compensated for what they did to you. There are several very scary and factual things that people don't know about plastic surgeons before considering it. A lot of the reputation...
That's great. That doesn't work. Thanks for the donation, James. Think after this I'm just gonna try to sleep because I'm not feeling well. Thanks for the donation though, dude.
Seriously, though, how did Peter Jackson not see that Andaro falling for King Kong was creepy? How did that even get greenlit between this and that kiss scene from Blank Check? Is Hollywood just full of perverted creeps?
Nah, I think women are just into monkeys. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Subdue him, Mr. Wes Watson. Yeah, because he was trying to kill me. The day you're a man and you've actually been in a fight and someone attacks you, then we can come talk about it. The lawyer goes, okay. The day someone attacks your mom or your wife, we could talk about it, but you're just a fraud. So keep going, fraud. I mean, Todd Fraud. And then I guess the lawyer got pissed because he's talking to him like he's an asshole. So the lawyer starts trolling him here about his height. And Todd goes, and then you're what? How tall are you? About 6 foot. People online swear I'm 5'8", so getting the correct height would be cool because everyone says I'm 5'8". For some reason, it's some joke they have, but I'm like 6 foot. What was your height when you were arrested? Because remember, they wrote it down and was pissed about it. What was the height that was recorded on your arrest report?
Here we go.
I think I was like 5'8" or 5'6" or something like that, but he was completely wrong. It was not measured height because he was wrong. When we get to the jail, it was higher than that. Now this part here, all right, they played a video of me. You guys remember when I first did my first Wes video, it was him. He actually DM'd me first, sending me a message saying, hey, you know, you want to talk shit, because I went to his Instagram and I said he gossips like a woman bitch. And then he sent me a direct message and he said, hey, you know what? Come to the gym 8 a.m. on Saturdays. I'm there. You know where it is. Show up or shut up. And then he blocked me. Well, they played that video in court. So Wes had to see my face in court. And apparently he wasn't happy about it. And this is what he said.
That is so funny.
Do you know who that is? So the lawyer asked him about me. Wes goes, I don't know this guy. There's a lot of people that make videos about me. I don't know them directly. Probably about 10 billion views a month on the internet of people doing weird stuff like these people. Lawyer goes, you don't know the name John Bravo? That's not familiar to you? I don't know. There's plenty of people. There's 10 fake pages for every person. There's probably 5 Todds. So I don't know. Is that even a real person? I'm not even sure that's a real person. So what? He's saying I'm fucking AI too like the rest of these assholes? Is it your testimony that you've never had any kind of direct messages with a man named John Bravo? Direct. I've had direct. Lawyer goes, hold on. Is it your testimony that you've never had any kind of direct messages with a man named John Bravo and giving him the address of the gym where you were at and telling him to come by the gym? I've had direct messages with probably 55 to 100 fake John Bravo profiles, and I don't know which one is which, the direct John Bravo or anyone. I thought a moment ago you said you didn't know John Bravo, but you just testified. I don't. I said every person like that has about 50 pages. I don't know who they are. There's a million of them. I don't know the guy personally. I don't know any of these people. So now as the deposition is going on, right, the lawyer starts playing videos, and Wes is not happy about him because a lot of these videos were on his Instagram stories, which disappear, but most of people have saved them all. So as they're playing them, he's getting pissed and he's like, you know what? These aren't real, they must be AI every time he sees something he doesn't like. So the lawyer's pressing him. And he goes, you're not saying it isn't you, correct? I'm just saying anything that's not posted on my channel, if I didn't post it, it's from somebody else. Like you keep showing me videos of people hating on me. None of these are valid. These people have posted AI videos where I'm kissing other men. It's weird stuff. None of these can be valid that you're showing me from other people. None of them. So then the lawyer says, you're not saying you didn't make the statements that are in this video that we just saw, correct? There is no way I'll stand behind any of the videos that are posted by other people other than me. I won't, I can't. Do you want me to show you what they have videos of? They took videos of me working out at the gym, of an African American friend of mine that's working out at the gym.
VG, it's kind of crazy how much alike we are. I also like watching girls lick each other's butts. For a long time that was my favorite porn genre, but now I just watch regular anal stuff. But yeah, licking a girl's butthole or watching a girl do it is hot.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Ass eating's underrated. Thanks for the donation, Sneeko. I wish there was more lesbian rape porn. I like watching lesbians, like, you know, like not real rape, but like, you know, simulated fake rape in a porn. I like watching,
please, smiley face
like
emoji,
a lesbian girl turning
smiley
another
face
girl into a
emoji,
slave or something.
kissing face
Pretty
emoji.
hot. Thanks for the donation, Sneeko's Nazi.
Would you take a nap on stream? Please, smiley face emoji, kissing face emoji.
I really don't feel well. It's not that I'm just tired. It's, my stomach just doesn't feel great. I just kind of want to lie down. So, I don't know. If I was just tired, I'd just take a nap on stream. But, I don't feel good, and I have not so good in my tummy. Thanks for the donation, though, James. Was your area affected by the winter storm? Well, we didn't get that much snow. Apparently it is going to snow in a few days, but it's just being ridiculously, stupidly fucking cold. It's getting below -50 at night, so it's pretty bad. I have to keep the space heater on in the garage so that the oil in my motorcycle doesn't freeze, so I can actually start it up properly.
They made us kissing in the video. It's too crazy and it looks real. So any video he's not happy about, he just says it's
Nice try.
fucking AI, this asshole. So I'm going to leave it off at this one because this is pretty funny. Okay, because he basically goes off on everybody that's on the Zoom call and trying to say that if this goes public, all this, the transcript, right, that people are going to start trolling them. You make so many vague messages to come fight you that you can't recall them all. No, just messages. I make so many messages in general. A lot of them every day are pretty negative because people will not leave me alone. I wish people were just positive. They wrote you cool stuff and things. But I guarantee if this goes public, all you guys will have your own profiles.
G donated $2. Oh. 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 Oh, Parrot likes the dog. Oh, the parrot likes the dog.
Who's barking?
Shut the burb.
What are you doing out here? I love you too.
The burb's barking.
Why are you out here? Why are you
Aww.
out the doggy?
What a nice burb.
It took me 6 months to teach my octopus to play the piano. I saved him from a fish market in South Korea. Can I have this guy? Wow, yes, perfect. But instead of throwing him into a frying pan, I threw him into my aquarium. Yeah! It took him a couple of days to trust me enough to eat the food I gave him. But once he did... Whoa! Oh, he got it. Whoa! I knew he was ready for his first...
Wonder if you could feed an octopus vegan cat food.
piano key. But after several days of touching but not playing the key, I realized something. Pushing isn't exactly natural for an octopus. So I started redesigning the key again and again until we got the ultimate octopus key. And it worked.
Oh, amazing grip. Whoa! Oh my god, that was amazing. Again, 2 times. 3 times!
It was time to teach Taco to play an actual melody, and I had a perfect plan. Lights. Taco saw the light, approached the piano, and pulls the wrong key. And after weeks of no progress, I had to accept it. Taco hates my shitty lights. In the end, what finally worked was just wiggling the key.
He will pull, he will pull, he will pull. Yes! Good job, Taco!
And after 1 week, he could play 2 notes in a row.
Good. Whoa.
Whoa! The second week, this happened.
Whoa, a chord!
Unfortunately, after this, there were weeks of 0 progress. Taco knew how to play a few notes, but I don't think he understood that I wanted him to keep going, to complete the full melody. I needed something different, a system that motivated Taco to keep playing. And after a long time researching and consulting with experts, the crab elevator was born. Here's how it works. Every key press lowers the crab a little closer to Taco, and it's impossible for him to take it before it reaches the bottom. And to get it there, he needs to complete an entire melody. If this didn't work, I would give up. But he played 1 note, and then
it's not nice to have a crab get killed.
Another one. Come on, Taco.
Like, octopi are beautiful animals and they're really intelligent. I just don't like how he's feeding it like other animals.
Come on! A bit more. Yes! Yes! Taco! You did.
Yeah, I like octopi. They're cool.
It took me 6 months.
Alright.
So scientists gave parrots money, and the parrots immediately changed the rules because they trained them that metal rings equals food. Drop a ring in, get a snack. Then the researchers introduced unfairness. One parrot got a pile of 10 rings, and the one next to it got none, separated by a wall with a tiny slot. So the rich bird watched the other one miss meals and started pushing rings through the gap anyway. They ran the test again and again. Same result. Sharing until both could pay and eat. The researchers expected hoarding. Instead, the parrots spotted.
Oh, parrots are nice. The rich parrot felt bad for the poor parrot and gave the poor parrot money so he could get a snack. Oh, parrots are so good. Thanks for the donation, G. Dodo Donatellers, this just encompasses perfectly the feminist communist brain rot that has infected higher education and thereby journalism and media. You know, China's been doing this since the 80s, and this isn't just with TikTok. I let my wife have an affair. Do I have to console her now that it's over? Oh my god. Wow, dude. Jesus. What the fuck is this shit? Wow, dude. Imagine being that fucking cucked and gay. Yeah. And the government still wants to ban testosterone and keep it a controlled drug when this shit's going on. Like, give me a fucking break. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Your shit will be on Reddit. You guys will be Google searched. A lot of your lives will be ruined from this if it goes public because people will just harass you bad. They'll take down your website. Todd's business will probably be affected. Everybody in here will be affected if this makes it online, even the stenographer. Everyone's life is going in a negative direction because of any details of this stuff, because people are crazy. They're trolls, like your client coming and trying to fight people. They're crazy. So like I said, this thing was like 150 pages long. And if you guys have time and you want a good read, take a read at it. I might make a part 2, but I'm not gonna spoil things. But if there is a part 2 that I make, it's gonna be a little bit more than just text. And babe.
What the hell was that? There's something in the garage. You almost hit it. Oh, Fredrickson. No, don't hit Fredrickson. That's my little cousin. You want to meet him? He's really... Hey, Fredrickson, don't you be throwing that stuff back. Marcus, don't get into a throwing fight with Fredrickson. Marcus? Fredrickson? Why are you hitting Wyatt? Fredrickson, no, you're throwing shit at me. Look, that's my cousin. You guys haven't met each other. Isn't he cute? His name...
mean it.
I know. Here, I want you to meet Fredrickson, okay? That's my little cousin, Fredrickson. He's really sweet. Fredrickson, be nice. That's your godfather.
Stupid, little, stupid, rotund, round, little bitch. Stupid head, got no hair. Oh.
Donators, I just want to elevate what Street Vegans said. Because it's true, you know, that female would be a bitch to her husband for not consoling her and understanding her feelings, and also often when they cheat, they blame the man, start crying, but read what Street Vegan said. When I eat a puffy potato chip bubble, I pretend it's a crab shell. Oh, then she complains he isn't supportive of her cheating like her girlfriends are, yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
All round and stupid.
He's an alligator.
Tall looking.
Fredrickson, put down the gun, alright? Guys?
My bad.
Alright, well, why don't you guys hug it out?
Oh no. He's not good at getting through the snow. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. Oh, that was a squirrel. Catch. Oh. Catch. Look how sentient they are. Imagine if people were like this. That's a chunky cat. Such cats. It's cool how they all, like, hang out together. That's neat. Cats are really cool. Wow. They're being so nice. Oh my god. Look how nice these cats are being. They're being so good. Oh, they're so nice. Wow. They're all so fuzzy. Look at all those cats. Ben Boy donated $2. Let me see. Oh. He's charging his pigeon. It's a good pigeon. Oh. Looks like the pigeon has an egg. Do you see that? There's an egg. Pigeon has an egg. That egg might become another pigeon. That's a good pigeon. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy.
He never feels safe, not even in his own home. Do what you can to block out the memories.
Look, look, look!
With no support from HQ, it's up to you to find a way.
Looks like we're on our own.
PTSD Action Man now comes with 1,000-yard stare action. With time running out, only you can stop the pain.
Let's get out of here!
Legs really don't work. His spine shattered by an enemy IED. Action Man is crippled by constant pain. With his bowels out of action, only a colostomy bag can save him from disaster.
Reloading.
You dead action man. Blown to bits by bombs, it's up to you to pick up the pieces.
We lost him.
Identify the body with dog tags.
Private Smith, 19 years old.
Reward him for valiant effort.
You've been promoted.
Can you dig the grave in time?
Let's do it.
Oh, chicken. Oh my god, I love chickens. Oh. Wow. He's gonna do it. Oh, I love chickens so much. They're so beautiful. Oh my god. I need this. I need this chicken. Chickens are so cool. Mohammed donated $2. How come you don't complain about church bells that everyone in the neighborhood or fucking whole town can hear? Because that doesn't happen. But only when an imam is doing the call to prayer you complain. They do it like 3 to 5 times a day and it's way louder, and most churches don't have bells. How is that not a double standard? I just explained. Thanks for the donation, stupid. And a call to prayer is so much more obnoxious. Like, church bells ring for like 10 seconds. The call to prayer is like... for like minutes. It's fucking horrendous. Yeah. You know.
This kitchen is so hard to clean. If only there was an easier way.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum. Say goodbye to daily stains and dirty surfaces with new Kitchen Gun.
This sink is filthy, but just 3 shots from Kitchen Gun. And it sparkles like new. Look how it cleans this greasy hob.
Goodbye, dirt!
Grubby tiles.
I love you, Kitchen Gun!
Rusty taps.
Bang, bang!
You can even use it on the washing up.
Bang, bang, bang!
There, all clean again. New Kitchen Gun, now with laser sight and night vision for after dark cleaning.
That'd be cool. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, feels so good and I need to sleep. So we'll probably find out more about that ice shooting, and we'll see if there's any updates tomorrow night. But, you know, I did a debate earlier today, so if you haven't seen it, check out the veganism debate with the biochem PhD dumbass. Dodo Nutiller, speaking of cuckoldry and Muslim call to prayer. Video unavailable. Minneapolis changes noise ordinance to allow Muslim call to prayer at all hours. Oh my god. You know they're doing this to get votes. That's what it is. Politicians are degenerate scumbags, and they think this horse shit will get them more votes. It's fucking horrendous. Well, you know, two can play at that game. If I had to deal with that shit, I'd just start blaring on, I'd get a loudspeaker like this and, have it repeat, go on repeat. Prophet Muhammad's a pedophile. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. $2 let me see.
Once upon a time, in the midst of a cold rainy night, a man named Richard Burgess from the Maple Heaven of Canada decided to go to sleep, but something sinister happened. Here is the horrifying footage. Inside of Mr. Burgess's brain. Here's what we uncovered.
Did you know COVID is co-vegan identity? And the coronavirus has the same letters as carnivorous. But don't panic. ISRV corn / save your eye corn is a sentence in coronavirus. Corona means crown. I'll show you my crown. See? That's my crown.
Okay, that's good. Thanks for the donation too. JP donated $2. Oh, that's nice. That'd be nice, cuddling with a big kitty like that. That's really nice. I love big kitties. Oh my goodness, so soft. Wow. Oh. Bengals are so pretty. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Cuddling with a kitty is so nice. Oh, it's so nice to cuddle with a kitty. Oh my god, they're so good. Oh, wow, that's a good cat. That is so good. Oh, that is so good. That's really good. I think I choose this kitty. This kitty's looks like the fluffiest. Thanks for the donation, JP. Alright, well, I gotta get to bed and relax. But, hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. I will see you all tomorrow, which will be the final stream because I should win the lottery. Over the weekend. So, yeah, final stream tomorrow, then I'll win the lottery, and oh my god, a chicken. That's mean, what the fuck? Some of these people are fucking assholes. I love chickens. If I saw somebody doing that to a chicken, I'd fucking blow their head off. Well, anyway. Hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs, and I will see you all tomorrow. Sweet dreams.